Did you know? Luxor is one of the best places in the world to take a hot air balloon ride, offering breathtaking views of ancient temples and the Nile. Floating over the Valley of the Kings at sunrise is an unforgettable experience starting around 6 a.m. Astronauts who have been on spacewalks report that space has a super distinctive smell once they're back inside the station. They describe it like seared steak hot metal or even welding fumes. Pretty wild to imagine what that smells like, huh? St. Chi. Louis Cardinals have been around forever, originally starting as the St. Chi. Louis Brown Stockings in 1882. They're one of the oldest professional baseball franchises in continuous operation with a rich history. The father of the blues himself, W.C. Handy, was born right in Florence, Alabama. His childhood home is now a museum celebrating his groundbreaking music and legacy that shaped American sounds. Canada's $2 coin known as the toonie actually has a unique feature. It's a bimetallic coin with two different metals joined together. The inner core and outer ring were initially designed to separate if frozen, but they fixed that. Hawaii is home to Maunaloa, which is considered the world's largest active volcano by volume and mass. It covers half of the Big Island and has erupted 33 times since its first documented eruption in 1843. Potato chips were supposedly invented in 1853 by Chef George Crumb in Saratoga Springs. A customer kept complaining his fried potatoes were too thick, so Crumb sliced them paper thin out of spite. Your eyes can actually process an incredible amount of information, transmitting about 36,000 bits of data to your brain every single hour. That's a serious data stream. North Carolina has its own iconic soda called Cheerwine, a unique cherry-flavored beverage invented in Salisbury. This beloved bubbly drink has been a regional favorite since L.D. Peeler created it back in 1917. West Virginia is home to Camden Park, one of the world's oldest continuously operating amusement parks, first opened in 1903. It's an awesome vintage spot that's been thrilling generations for over a century, no joke. The iconic Mount Fitzroy in Patagonia, straddling Chile and Argentina, actually inspired the famous outdoor brand Patagonia's logo. Its jagged granite spires reach heights of 3,405 meters. The haka, a powerful ceremonial dance, is a significant part of Maori culture in New Zealand, often performed by the All Blacks rugby team. It's a way to show pride, strength, and unity deeply rooted in tradition. When a snake flicks its tongue out, it's not actually tasting anything. It's collecting scent particles from the air. These particles are then delivered to a special sensory organ called the Jacobson's organ inside its mouth. Your brain itself doesn't have pain receptors, so it literally can't feel pain even during surgery. That's why neurosurgeons can sometimes operate on patients who are totally awake. Thrasher magazine was actually founded in 1981 by Fausto Vitello and Kevin Thatcher, originally as a way to promote independent truck company. It quickly grew into skateboarding's most iconic and raw publication. Regulated hunting actually funds a ton of wildlife conservation projects, especially through the Pittman-Robertson Act of 1937. This tax on firearms and ammo has poured billions into habitat restoration and species management. During the Cold War, Nebraska played a huge role in national defense housing, numerous Atlas and Minuteman missile silos. You can even visit a preserved Atlas F missile site near Meade, giving a glimpse into a tense historical era. Nashville is home to Fisk University, which was actually founded in 1866 as one of the very first historically black colleges in the South. It played a crucial role in providing education to African Americans post-Civil War. The shortest boxing match on record lasted just 4 seconds. It happened in 1946 when El Couture knocked out Ralph Walton with his first punch barely after the bell even rang. You know the Suez Canal? Well, it cuts travel time significantly, but it took 10 years to build back in the 1800s. Opened in 1869, it drastically changed global trade routes, forever linking the Mediterranean and Red Seas. If you're into college football, you've heard of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Their home, Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, is massive, holding over 100 1821 fans, one of the largest in the nation. Alabama actually had a state capital called Cahaba, but it was abandoned and is now a historic ghost town. It was the first permanent state capital from 1820 to 1825 before frequent flooding forced a move. Hawaii's state motto is Wamauke ia oke oka atina I ka pono, which translates to, "The life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness." King Kamehameha III uttered these words in 1843, and they're still super meaningful today. Egyptian cotton is world famous for its incredible softness, strength, and breathability, often considered the best. Its long fibers make it super luxurious and durable, a top export product for decades. In Churchill, Manitoba, if a polar bear gets too rowdy or wanders into town, they don't just shoo it away. Nope. They've actually got a special polar bear jail, a holding facility for up to 20 bears to keep everyone safe until they can be relocated. North Carolina is a hidden treasure chest specifically around hiddenite. where you can find one of the world's largest concentrations of naturally occurring emeralds. The Emerald Hollow Mine lets you dig for your own precious stones. The very first miniature golf course ever built in the world was right there in Pinehurst, North Carolina. This'll Do opened in 1916, starting a global craze for tiny putting greens. Our entire solar system is actually encased within a giant protective bubble called the heliosphere. This magnetic shield extends way past the orbit of Pluto, keeping out most harmful cosmic rays. It's like our own personal galactic force field. Seriously cool. Traditional trackers, like the Sand People of Southern Africa, can read a vast array of animal signs, like subtle hoofprints and broken twigs to follow game for days. This incredible skill allows them to predict an animal's next move, and get this, if you're into helicopters and military aircraft, the US. Army Aviation Museum is in Daleville, Alabama at Fort Rucker. It houses one of the largest collections of military aircraft in the world with over 160 aircraft. Hawaii observes its own unique time zone called Hawaii Standard Time, or HST. They don't mess with daylight saving, so they're always GMT 10 even when the mainland shifts. The human eye can distinguish an incredible amount of different colors, far more than you might think. We're talking about roughly 10 million distinct shades, which is just absolutely mind-blowing if you ask me. Nebraska is deeply connected to literary history, particularly through Pulitzer Prize-winning author Willa Cather, who based many novels here. You can explore her childhood home and the historical sites that inspired her works in Red Cloud. The Canadian Shield isn't just a geographical feature, it's one of the oldest geological formations on Earth. Some rocks found there are over 4 billion years old, containing minerals like gold, copper, and nickel. New Zealand's majestic Southern Alps running along the South Island are home to more than 3,000 glaciers. You can even find Franz Josef Glacier and Fox Glacier just miles from the coastline. Mount Mitchell in North Carolina isn't just a big mountain, it's the absolute tallest peak east of the Mississippi River. Standing at an impressive 6,684 feet, it offers some seriously breathtaking views. There's an island in Hawaii called Niihau that's known as the Forbidden Isles because it's privately owned and mostly off-limits to outsiders. Only residents, invited guests, and direct relatives can visit. The Gateway Arch in St. Louis was built using a unique system where the two legs were constructed simultaneously and then met at the top. Surveyors ensured incredible precision, accurate to a 64th of an inch. The average adult human brain weighs in at about 3 pounds, which is roughly the same as a small cantaloupe, no joke. It might not seem like much, but it's packed with incredible processing power. There's a really important piece of civil rights history in Scottsboro, Alabama. The Scottsboro Boys Museum and Cultural Center tells the powerful story of 9 young black men falsely accused in 1931, sparking international outrage and legal battles. The Oswan Botanical Garden, located on Kitchener's Island in the Nile, is an amazing green sanctuary. Established in 1899 by Lord Kitchener, it's home to a huge collection of exotic plants and trees. Alabama is officially nicknamed the Heart of Dixie, which you can even see on its license plates. This cool moniker really highlights its central geographic and cultural place within the southern United States. Your brain isn't fully developed until your mid-20s, with the prefrontal cortex, which handles judgment and decision-making, being one of the last areas to mature. So don't rush those big life choices. A bigger brain doesn't always mean more smarts. Anatole France. A Nobel Prize-winning writer had a brain weighing only about 1017 grams. That's significantly smaller than average, proving size isn't everything. The crossbow has been a powerful hunting and warfare tool for over 2,100 years, dating back to ancient China. Its ability to hold a drawn string made it accessible to many, not just those with great upper body strength. If you enjoyed these, subscribe for daily facts and catch the shorts too.